Just got home from work, parked the unit, and now we're going to try to get this carburetor rebuilt. Maybe we can get this together, but we might be getting pizza first. I'm not sure yet. Yep, we're getting pizza first. That was quick. Be back with you in a minute. Yep. Dinner first. Then we'll get on that carburetor. Alright. One thing I want to check out before I play with anything is I don't like this. Watch. It sticks. I'm not liking that. I think this is pushing too hard and it's binding everything up. It's making everything bend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this shooter and then we'll start taking this carburetor apart. But yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Great. Well, we know where we get to start, right? Ugh. Welcome to the world of carburetors. If they would have WD-40 the gasket, that wouldn't happen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to put one of these other shooters on it and adjust it. Said, I don't know what was actually done with this carburetor. I don't know what's inside it. I don't know what makes it tick. These are the same, I believe. Hey, look it. And this one hasn't been molested yet. So we're going to put this one on and we'll see if this, we'll put this on, we'll adjust the accelerator pump. And we'll try it again and see if this will work. Number one slot. On these carburetors you have a 1 and a 2. 2 is like delayed. Oh, we want to give it all of the fuel. So we're just going to put this in the number 1 slot. Number 1 on the carb, number 1 here. And I'm not saying... I can already tell you I'm going to have to readjust that, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Tighten this up. That looks snug now. This is too tight now. So what we have to do is you gotta put a wrench on here and a wrench on this backside and just tighten this spring up a little bit till I get a little bit of pre-play here, and then what I'll do is I'll back it off so it's tight again, just that little bit. And we're gonna use the rustiest wrench I got. Why? Because it's here. I'm gonna tighten this up. Still no free play. That could have been the whole problem all along. Maybe that's why that didn't work, but it's scarred also, and I don't like that. Okay, see now, there's a tiny bit of play. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to back it off just a little bit, just to get rid of that play. There. Now, let's see what happens when we get it now. And yes, you don't turn these upside down, but we are tearing it apart. Nice and smooth. But there's a lot more accelerator pump there. I mean, there's definitely, wow. Wow. I'm going to leave that on there for now. I mean, you can always try it and see. Only take a second. This adjusts your pump shot, is what I'm playing with right now. But this is scarred, but there's a much huger, massive ramp on this one. I don't know which is factory. That's the problem. I don't know which one belongs on here. I just don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to just, let's try to put this back in here once. And see what it does. Okay, now let's see what it does. No, it still wants to bind up. Now is this... I can tell by looking at this, it's just, I don't know why. Maybe we change the location. These are adjustable. It just keeps sticking. Let's try something. I like getting all that pump shot for when you tromp it, but let's try. Remember I said there's two settings? Let's try the second hole and see what that does. Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't know. Come on now. Okay, number 2. Where are you? There we go. I don't have a clue if it's going to do anything, but we're going to try it. I mean, this has ungodly amounts of play in it now. Let's just try it here and see if it binds up first. This thing binds up. It's still, I'm not liking it. And it's not even doing a full pump shot. It's just too much. You hear that? Right here, this binds up. And I'm not 100% sure why. Okay, maybe it's going to stop itself. Let's loosen it. Let's turn this out and find out. Because it is delayed now a little bit. But as soon as you... we'll try it. Let's loosen this up a little bit. I don't know, but you loosen it that much. This could be creating too much of a delay now, but it was on the carburetor. So I want to see if it'll work. See that snapping? I'm not liking that. We're just going to put the other one on it and see if that works. If it doesn't work, I myself personally don't think you need it. because it doesn't have that big of a shooter in it anyway. And another thing that bothers me, look how scarred that is. Not good. At least I don't think so. So we're just going to put this back in here. I'm going to go to the number 1 hole like I had it. And then let's get this carburetor apart. It was just something I wanted to address before I took everything apart. All these are made out of plastic. We need all the stroke we can get. I went a little too far. I got to readjust just a hair. Okay, we're going to let that alone for now. All these gaskets will have to be cleaned. You take the float bowls off right here. We'll get both of the float bowls off. We'll get inside here, see what kind of jetting this has, see what kind of shooters it has. I mean, this carburetor was definitely played with quite a bit. I can't tell what numbers. Real simple stuff. Float bowls off. Real simple stuff. There's 4 of these on each end. These are what are called center hung float bowls. Remember that. Once I get these off, I'll show you what we got going on. We'll see what kind of goodies we got inside, what the jets are that we need to see how much stuff was altered and changed. Because I'm sure there was. I want to take it back. There's 3 different jet configurations for this and shooters. We'll have to see which one works the best. Or should we say which one I like the best. First analysis. Pin broken. Right here. It's missing. See this one? Missing. These, I don't think are factory. Very goopy. Smells like skunk beer, or worse. So, just by looking at this, power valve is real mushy. Yeah, so that's my first assumptions of what's going on. We're going to have our work cut out with this beast. Oh, and something I wanted to show you, break the back fluid ball off. The reason I got this carburetor so cheap, check this out. He said he couldn't get his carburetor to work no matter what. Well, this might have had something to do with it. Folks, these rubber ones are no good. Use neoprene. But this could have been his entire problem. I noticed the idle screws were out like 3 turns and stuff like that. And so yeah, that could be the problem. Okay, let's move on. This back fluid bowl, look at it. This thing would not have run long. That's all from that damn ethanol gas. This, I mean, center hung float bowl in the middle. Right there. That's where needle and seat is. I mean, the float levels look good. That's usually where I adjust them, to where this crease is right even at the bottom of the hole. And I'm going to take this out. I use water, but I'm going to set this in water. I mean, there's nothing in either one of them, so we should be good there. But now we're going to clean every orifice out. Shoot every orifice that's here. All of these here. Brake clean. All of this has to be shot clean to get everything out of here. And then we'll start reassembling. But I'll show you somebody shooting around. See, we disassembled the whole thing. all that stuff in the back there. See it? It's come out. And these, it's always good to change these. You get a rebuild kit. Because if this O-ring goes bad right here, the gas will literally shoot down right past the needle. So while we had it, we stripped them. We're going to take the accelerator pumps out. I have diaphragms for that. We're going to replace those. Everything I have replaced. Like I said, I got to blow all these orifices out, make sure everything is clean. Because believe me, if I'd have put gasoline in this carburetor, it would have been pretty well wasted. 30cc accelerator pump, 50cc pump on the backside, which I'm not sure why, because it doesn't have a big enough shooter in to utilize it. But, well, we'll see. Let's keep getting it apart. Disassembling the second one. Just like the jam screw. Get out, and I just put the nut, leave the nut on. Because if you don't turn the float out, or turn the needle and seat out, you won't be able to get this out. And we need to get this out because this carburetor is just, ew. Sometimes these screws, you have to watch, they will snap. I've seen them snap already. But when you go to take them out, if they turn a little bit, but then they stop, just work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, back and forth. Don't come out. If one of them, see that feels stiff. Work it, work it, work it. Steel and aluminum. This carburetor smells so bad. So bad. Ooh. I don't know why the one on this side always is like that. Oh, wind's picking up. And out comes the float. No water in this one either. You also have to watch because this here, this little pin will come out. This is the reason I took, look at this. You know what that would have done to the carburetor? All needs to be cleaned. All of it. It could be, it's probably in the accelerator pump and everything. So, I'll show you the difference between accelerator pumps also. I really should use my drill for this, but it's downstairs. Okay, shower pump, spring that looks rusty that needs to be cleaned. Now, I'll show you two clean ones. We'll get the clean ones out. How's that sound? Here you go. See the difference? 30cc, 50cc. Usually the 50cc you'll see on a 500 2-barrel or on the back of a double pumper because you really need that fuel flow. But we have the parts. We'll replace those too. I'm not going to go with a 6.5 power valve though. That I'm not going to do. They gave me 6.5s and a 10.5. 10.5 I think is going to be a little too high. But I have an 8.5 right here, inches of mercury. That's what that number's for. So when you drop at or just below that, the vacuum moves off, power valve opens, fuel goes in to the main jet system. It's usually 5 to 8 jet sizes, depending on what your restrictions are. So, onto that. Now, everything's apart, and we get to vaporize some holes. So, and a couple of these, actually, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that one actually has residue inside it. So we definitely need to clean these out really good. We're going to get some brake clean, and we'll show you how we do it. First thing we're going to do, eye protection. It's not fun when brake clean blows back in your face. Straw. Now, see it coming out? One. All the restrictions. Everything seems to be working out here. Got that one in the face. That one's blocked. Something's wrong there. We got blockage. That one passes the test. This is the rear. Notice there's no place for a power valve. Some carburetors do actually have a power valve there. Could I make that? Yeah, I could tap it and put it in, but now, look at all this goo and crud. All this has to come out yet. That'll pass. Now, while I got it out, I might as well get the back float bolt too. The one that is horrible. That would be this one. Ooh. That's great. That extension cord's plugged in. Perfect. Come on. That's pretty clean now. Give it the wipe test. That'll work. That'll work. We are gunk free, and now we're getting one more shot just because. Perfect. Perfect. Now, float, we can clean that up too. Real quickie, I didn't take anything. Okay, you saw me clean one. Now I'm going to get the other one clean. The last thing we'll do is the orifice on the carb and get the base plate off it, and we'll go from there. Okay, you got everything clean. First thing we're going to do is this gasket. And we're going to do, you know, oldest but old goodness. And apparently, I don't know if I can move around. Okay. That should be good. Now I want to take it. Okay, we got to do some with a shadow spot.